I always start a video off with drinking tea because I can. I mean, why not? Hello, I'm TheZOMBIEJ, and it's time to talk about bootlegs. Bootleg, Lego, or construction sets. So, what is a bootleg? What is a knockoff? What is a counterfeit set? Well, it's essentially a clone of a Bionicle set, for example, that, or a Lego set in general, that is not produced by Lego. It's produced by a third party that is lower quality, but sometimes you'll have some pretty good quality stuff out there. Other times you'll just have piss poor, like still have flashing here and there and other shit. Yeah, so bootlegs can have some real gems to them. I do have the Sea Star or Doomsday bootleg from the Masters of the Disaster line from Globo. I got that off of Amazon for 20 bucks. Yeah, that's my first Bionicle bootleg, and it's one that's most coveted, so I'm glad I have that. And it's unfortunately the only one I have, so but that's not the only example of bootlegs that exists. But it's probably the most popular for some reason. There's also a lot of actual construction bootlegs out there. Ones that are of the Matoran size. They're basically Metro Matoran with Toa Nuva legs and Turaga weapons. There are obviously CCBS bootlegs of Marvel and DC characters like Black Panther or Thanos. It would have been so nice if Lego gave us all of those characters in CCBS, but they really weren't gonna do that. They dropped the ball, it seemed, with the Marvel and DC superhero sets from 2013, I think, and they were okay for the most part. At least they gave us good parts, and I had a incomplete Batman, so it was decent, it was good. But it seemed like these sets were never going to succeed enough for Lego to consider giving us a full line of Marvel and DC sets named after characters like Black Panther or Thanos or Ant-Man or Captain America. They already did a Captain America. But the bootleg companies did it, and did it really damn well. There was Iron Spider-Man too. There was even some Bionicle G2 ones. Son of Kulta was a popular one and had some really good recolors, including the red skull villain armor add-on piece, which was pretty cool. Silver as well, and there's more recolors in that set that are pretty cool, including the Protector mask. I mean, that's just lovely right there. It's silver that fades to like a trans reddish orange. That is amazing. I love that. There's also Ikimu the Warrior, which is basically supposed to be a warrior version of Ikimu the Mask Maker. And you know what? It looks actually pretty good. I like this one. I could never get it, honestly, because yeah. But there was definitely some nice recolors and altered parts as well. The Mask of Creation was, well, this version of it was runeless. So you can have a runeless Mask of Creation if you ever so choose. And that's why it's being used on Ikimu the Warrior, because this is a foot soldier type of character with a long staff-like weapon. And custom prints as well. Yeah, these are cool sets. And there's even a Toa Breeze set, which I think is kind of cool. Had those like Legends of Chima golden pauldron things in green. Yeah, this is a pretty cool set. There's another set that was named The Witcher, and it was like there was yellow parts here and there and whatnot. The face is kind of weird, but this whole wave of sets was pretty good. There's a lot of great stuff that came out of the bootlegs from CCBS stuff. And obviously there's way more. There are some giant mech things that you can convert into like a dragon, for example. And that is pretty damn good. I've never owned any of these bootlegs, except for the Sea Star one that I have. But, wow. So, and of course there are some more dodgy ones. Like there is this Sidorak knockoff that Skybird reviewed, and it had a bad smell to it apparently, and I don't blame him, honestly. Because some bootlegs can come with really odd smells, some a bit more dubious than others, but yeah, that's the price you pay for worse plastic. But obviously, some of the CCBS stuff is pretty good too. There's knockoffs of Bionicle's G2 sets that existed, like for Lewa Uniter, for example. And they actually sold Mellum and Kopaka Uniter separately, so that's cool. As bootlegs. And some of those can be a bit off. There are some Hero Factory bootlegs, believe it or not, that are actually pretty good too. Interesting quality, but for the most part, they're interesting. There's even some small, weird, just parts packs of bootlegs that had. There's one that had a lime green 2015 piece from Bionicle G2 Wave 1. And my criminy, that would be nice to have that piece in lime green. There were other kind of mixed bag sort of bootlegs that existed. There were protector bootlegs that were different from the protectors that we did get from Lego. There was a ton of stuff out there. Like really, there's a lot of stuff that you can search for and probably get, but you probably won't be able to get them all. I mean, all of these bootlegs have something to offer in terms of like parts recolors especially, and new parts as well. But for the most part, there's just parts that are, we've seen before, but not in a certain color, like green, dark green. Yeah, we would get some of those. These bootlegs can be a bit dubious, but there's a lot of great stuff, and you gotta just try it. Now, the problem with getting said bootlegs from China or Russia, the problem is having them imported, because tariffs are a thing, and yeah. It's going to make it more difficult to get these bootlegs, but what can you do? The bootlegs can be a sign of fresh air, breath of fresh air for us Machas, because it's more parts to build with, to mock with. So we can supply ourselves with more parts for our parts collection. Just keep them separate from the official parts, obviously, because if you mix them together, then it becomes a problem, and you might run into some issues. These bootlegs all have something to bring to the table in terms of, well, just the amount of parts you get, and the kind of parts you get that have exclusive printing on it that you've never seen Lego do. I mean, that's pretty cool too. There's even some bootlegs that have like a Gundam style system head all built up, and they have stickers as well that you could use on CCBS shells. Even G1 parts are still being made, like Paraka feet in yellow, gold. Yes, please. More recolors, please. Bootleg companies, please continue to do what you do and supply us with more recolors, because this is what we need. It really is. What we need is both Paraka feet style 1 and style 2, both in Mata Red. That would be nice. It really would be. And of course, you know, the fans can make, us fans, we can make our own bootleg parts using resin casts or even 3D printing. Or there is a individual who is working with a company to get these parts manufactured in actual ABS plastic. Zion Tyros. Shout out to them for their work, and I still don't have any of these parts, but I've watched Skybird's videos on these, and holy crap, this is something we desperately needed. More G1 parts, yes. More CCBS parts, yes. More construction parts in general, fucking hell, man. I mean, yes, give us these parts. So we can continue to build. If Lego's not going to make these parts, fuck them. I mean, seriously, fuck you, Lego. You're not doing anything to help yourselves or us. So, yes, continue to let the bootleg companies help us. Obviously, Lego has some legal problems with those people, but that's their problem, not ours. So, bootlegs are something that are legendary in terms of, you know, when it comes to quality being piss poor or better than Legos in some cases. There are some good quality bootlegs, there are some low quality bootlegs. You just gotta make sure you get the good quality ones and not the ones that have all the flashing and whatnot still attached. When it comes to the bootleg I have, when I first opened it up and took out a piece, the quality of the part made me want to cry. I mean, it was that bad. It was not Lego's quality whatsoever. It was just made me want to vomit. But hey, I enjoyed building the thing, even though the neck joint is broken. One prong broke off, so that sucks. But that's why I don't play with these things, you know. Now, when it comes to the masks from those Glowpost sets, obviously the water mask is the most coveted out of the masks from those sets. So it would be nice if we can get a 3D blender model of that to work with, and you know, kind of reconfigure to add an axle, so we can put that on, I don't know, Glatorian heads or Metru heads. That would be pretty cool. I would love that. I don't know how to do that myself, but let's just say it's hard for me to learn things nowadays. But yeah, bootlegs are a sign of are a breath of fresh air for a lot of us when it comes to, you know, having to build something that has that needs a specific part in a specific color, and Lego doesn't make it. Look at a bootleg. Guaranteed you will find the piece you want. And of course, the system stuff can also be used with construction, because, you know, even the bootleg companies kind of mix in the system parts with construction parts, and it works pretty damn well. So there's some little chibi Gundam-like things with weird, interesting weapons from a company. I think it's called Zegao, and there's some great stuff there too. So and it seems like there's new bootlegs being created and listed on AliExpress almost daily. It's insane, and I don't see Lego trying to get these taken down anytime soon, because why should they? I mean, construction is still a viable system, and Lego's not doing anything with the Bionicle IP, so just let these bootleg companies give us these parts. If you're not going to give us these parts, Lego, fuck you. We will get these parts through bootleg companies, or we'll make them ourselves. So, again, Now that might seem a bit disrespectful to LEGO fans, especially the hardcore ones who basically are LEGO for life. But expand your horizons. I mean, let's be honest. LEGO's quality has gone down a little bit over time. It seems like some parts are, like for example, the color blue. Kind of referencing Sora Amamiya from Japan, because that's her favorite color is blue apparently. I don't blame her. A blue part, for example, a Technic beam in 7 with 7 holes in through the beam. If that's blue, compared to another Technic beam in 7-hole version, chances are that second beam, or even the third beam, will be a different shade of that exact blue. And that's a quality control problem on LEGO's end, and they really need to fix that, but it's hard to keep track of all this shit. That's why us, the consumers, are picking up on this sort of thing and reporting it to LEGO via our videos. And are they even listening? Do they even care anymore? For them, it's all about money, and well, when they're not making money off of something that they originally created, but a bootleg company is making money off of those parts, it's kind of a problem for LEGO to deal with. It's a thorn in their side, but I don't really care, to be honest. I mean, the more construction parts, the better, and that's basically all I have to say about that. So yeah, I implore you to go out and go to AliExpress and go to other websites and see if you can find a pretty good bootleg out there that has some great weapons, but also there is even original weapons too. These bootleg companies don't just stick with the parts that we've gotten before. No, they have their own original parts too, like weapons, for example, like swords and whatnot. So you can totally use those weapons with Bionicle mock builds. So that's pretty cool. But what do you think? Now I know some people have some morality problems when it comes to bootlegs. You know, that money's not going to LEGO. It's the quality's piss poor. All this shit that they're spewing out of their anuses because they'd rather spend their money on LEGO sets and be loyal to LEGO sets. And that's being toxic, let's be honest. That's being an elitist, and you don't want to be an elitist. So that can lead you down some toxic paths, and I don't want you to do that. So, yeah, just go get yourself a bootleg and see what you can make out of the parts. Obviously, you don't have to build the actual set itself, but you can use those parts to, build something else. And I implore you to check that out. Also, check out Zion Tyros and their custom stuff. There are other folks that are making custom parts on Shapeways and Thingiverse, and all this fun stuff. It helps the Bionicle community. You have no idea, really. It helps us in a fantastic way. It really does. And LEGO just doesn't see it because all they're seeing is dollar signs that are walking away from them, basically. So, yeah, they gotta chase that money somehow. So, what's the best way to do that? Shut down a bootleg company. And if they do that, that's evil. I mean, seriously, come on, LEGO. You don't want to be evil. Don't do it. There's some good bootlegs out there. There really are. The parts, yes, there are some parts that are pretty sketchy. There are even bootlegs of sets that are combiner models, like the Pit War Tortoise or the what's it called, the Zyglak. That was pretty cool. Oso did some videos on some bootlegs. Wow, great stuff. Check out Oso. Skybird also did some videos on bootlegs as well. He's a proponent, master when it comes to knowing things about Bionicle knockoffs and whatnot. So I implore you to check out Skybird. He is doing everything in his power to, you know, bring good things to the community. So, and again, when it comes to the morality problem, you know, some people have their morals. It's morally wrong to buy bootlegs instead of Lego. Listen, I get that, but you need to expand your horizons a little bit. Don't be an elitist. Don't stick 100% to Legos. I have had Mega Bloks sets before, and I've had other sets like Imaginext. Obviously, all those are gone, but hey. And I've even had these tiny little bricks, like the predecessor to Creo, basically, I think. But I never stuck 100% to Lego. Why should you? Think about it. And Creo is kind of shit, to be honest. It's not that great. I mean, all they've been doing is Transformers, and that's... Meanwhile, Mega Brand have been doing stuff that Lego would refuse to touch, like Call of Duty and Halo and even Pokemon. Well, now Lego's doing Pokemon next year, so... I mean, come on, what the hell? What are you even asking for at this point? So Lego's doing some good things here and there, but they still have some... I still have my problems when it comes to Lego. But yeah, check out the bootlegs. There's definitely some great stuff out there. You'll like it. When it comes to the joints, yes, there's going to be some fragile joints, especially if they're the 2008 style, but it depends on the type of ABS plastic that they're using. So you have to be wary about that. And you just gotta try it for yourself. So I did a review on C-Star. Seek that out if you will. So there you go. The biggest problem is getting those bootlegs to come in from overseas. Tariffs. God. It's going to make things harder to get those bootlegs imported over here, but just try. I mean, it'll be worth it in the end because you've got parts that are recolored to a color that Lego does not make anymore, or that a color that we've never seen in construction. Just do it. It's worth it. It really is. And that's all I have to say about bootlegs. So stay tuned for more videos. I've got more in the pipeline, so I've got one more video for y'all today, possibly a bonus. I do not know. But for now, I'm TheZOMBIEJ. I'll see you folks every fucking day, and peace.